Hey friends, if you're watching, welcome. Nobody's watching yet, but maybe you will later. Today I decided to go live because I've been hearing this message over and over about showing up, about people need to hear what you have to say, about how my message matters, and I'm doing a disservice to others by not sharing, by procrastinating, by just getting in my own way and just holding myself back. So I don't know where this video is gonna go, but I hope you'll stay till the end because it won't be too long. Gotta go to work soon. So a lot of times I used to do videos washing dishes because dishes need to get done. And why not multitask? Yay! So I'm gonna be real and show you my nasty sink because I have been a little bit upset and not washing dishes as a sort of passive aggressive. So this is my sink. Oh my goodness. Okay, so before I wash dishes, I do this weird prep thing where I have a double sink. I have left and right, and I move everything that's in the left onto the right, but sort of in piles. So like all the plates might be in one section, and all the bowls in another, and all the silverware on another side. And I don't know if other people do that or if it's just like a weird golly thing, but it's like I cannot deal with this giant mess of dishes without doing that first. But on the right side, the water's not going to be running while I do that, so maybe you'll actually hear me. Okay, so what did I want to talk about today? I really wanted to talk about showing up. And about self-sabotage, which I do all the time, and about success and what that looks like. So, showing up. A lot of times I don't show up, which is funny because I'm on Facebook like constantly. I don't show up. I don't actually sit down and write as often as I might. Yeah, that rhyme wasn't on purpose. I don't post regularly on my blog or on here or even in some of the groups that I'm in with their Promo Friday and Wisdom Wednesday and all those things because I don't know, I talk myself out of it. And I tell myself I'll do it later, and later never happens. Next thing you know, it's a week later. It's time for the next Promo Friday. And again, I put it off, and then miss that moment, you know. But really, we can show up at any moment. You don't have to necessarily wait until the right time. And so yeah, I'm just gonna show up and I'm gonna practice, and I hope that you'll get something out of this, even though it's not perfect and polished. So I posted before that my theme for this year is 100% committed to baby steps. The reason that my goal is baby steps is because I get overwhelmed really easily. I don't have as much confidence as I'd like, even though I'm getting there. And when I don't focus on baby steps, when I try to focus on, oh, my house is disgusting, I need to clean the whole thing, or oh, I have 5 baskets of laundry that need to be washed or dried or folded. In our case, we hang, so we don't fold them anyway. But if I focus on the giant task, on every item on the to-do list that I haven't done, it just gets to be too much, and things don't get done for even longer. So, oh my goodness. So I have this giant stack of dishes, and I don't have a dishwasher. And I'm just gonna take a baby step. I'm just gonna start. And now that I've done my prep, my moving everything, I'm gonna show you again what that looks like. Somebody's watching, but I don't know who. That's the empty side, and that's my giant mess. Okay, so baby steps. So a baby step for me is showing up. I don't show up as much as I could, and it's because I'm scared. It's because I'm scared to be judged. I'm scared to look stupid. I'm scared to, it's funny, right? Because I post sometimes like all these silly pictures and whatever, and in that moment I got over the fear and I posted something. But I know that society teaches us over and over again to be polished and pretty and perfect, and me being a silly weirdo is none of that. I don't even style my hair. I barely brush it. And hey, Lori. And so it's okay to not be perfect, and I am working on that, because perfection has not served me well. Being a perfectionist has just caused so much stress in my life and in my family, and it's just not helpful. Like, yeah, perfectionism has a place, to do things well and pay attention to detail, but sometimes it's like, okay, it's not gonna be perfect, let's get it done, and that's the end of it. And so yeah, I'm showing up as I'm washing the dishes, and it's not perfect. I'm not perfect, and that's okay. Thank you for the hearts. So self-sabotage was my next S. Hey, Jill. So many times I catch myself getting in my own way, where I have these big dreams and I talk myself out of it, right? Like, there are, I don't know how many books in my head and in my heart that I want to write, and some I've even started, and I tell myself I'm not a real author, right? I don't have a publisher. I don't have, which is good, right? Because without a publisher, you don't have a deadline, and you have more control and whatnot. But yeah, I procrastinate. That is my poison of choice. Hey, Diane. So my poison of choice is procrastinating, where I tell myself I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. Next thing you know, 3 years have passed, and I'm still at my same job, which is, it's good, it's stable, it's, I'm experienced now, but it's not something I ever dreamed I would do, and it's not something that I'm proud of. And I could be proud of it, right? I could stop saying I work in customer service, and I could say I work in a call center, and I support and encourage my team, and try to save them from burnout and from all of the stress of constantly being monitored and watched and coached on everything that you're doing wrong, and not so much praised for the 10 out of 11 things that you're doing right. But hey, that's the nature of corporate America, right? So I'm showing up. I'm trying to not self-sabotage for once. I'm doing self-care, right? Because for me, sometimes self-care is doing the dishes. It's not always taking time for myself, because, hi Monica. Ooh, we have a watcher from Israel. Diane, I think you're in London? I don't know. We got friends all over the world, which is really cool. And I talk myself out of tagging people, tagging my relatives, tagging, you know, friends who are basically relatives. Not that if I tagged you, you're not a close friend. I love you all. But I talk myself out of it because I'm scared. I'm honestly, even though I've gotten more vocal, I'm still that shy little girl who hides behind a book and doesn't really like to step out of the spotlight. It's like, that's not my role. That's not me, right? That's other people in my life. And so I talk myself out of it, and I don't show up. And I feel like my purpose more and more, like, I posted one time about wow, this is what nirvana might feel like, that Buddhist philosophy of just oneness and peace, because I felt like I found my purpose. And it wasn't some fancy career in a nonprofit or, you know, starting a foundation or whatever. It wasn't being a teacher, like so many people keep saying I should be or I could be. I feel like my purpose is just encouraging the world one person at a time, one moment at a time. And it's, I call my little hashtag that I created, Love Louder, because there is so much hate that is everywhere, right? When people talk about the media or politics or relationships, just everything, there is so much hate and fear, right? Like, I can't even walk around the block at midnight because I might not make it back, and that is a legitimate fear, and that's pretty messed up. We should be free to go for a walk whenever we want and not worry about violence. And honestly, there's some bad apples out there. There's some people who do bad things, you know, even if they're not bad people, maybe in that moment they're going through something, and that's no excuse, but I get it. I'm not perfect. I've done some pretty messed up stuff in my life, and maybe it's because I was off my meds or because I was just over it. I've had moments where I'm so done with being a good girl and with being perfect, because I'm not, and just so done with everything that I just like go into like this blind rage. And you would never think it, right? From all my positivity and look at the bright side and everything's gonna be fine, everything's fine. Like, sometimes everything is not fine. And to pretend that it is, it's more than just painful. It can be really destructive. So maybe I'm not spilling all my drama here, but I'm not pretending that everything's fine. Because it's okay to have feelings. It's okay to be real about things that aren't fine. Like the other night, I stayed up till 3 a.m, and I was afraid to go to bed. I was so angry and so emotional that I just felt like I could not sit still and wind down and whatever. I just was too much in it. It was like being in a war zone and there's just like bombs in your brain. And I mean, that's probably really offensive to Mecca, who's in Israel, where there's actually rockets and you have to probably go to a bomb shelter sometimes, and that is ridiculous. And the reason, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole Middle East conflict, but basically the reason is that people hate each other. People hate each other because everybody thinks they're right and nobody wants to apologize and compromise and just move forward. But that's not what this is about. This is about self-sabotage, right? When we fight first without taking a moment to calm down, when we procrastinate, we are kicking ourselves, you know, cutting ourselves at the knees before we've even had a chance. And so my theme is 100% committed to baby steps. And I'm taking this baby step right now of going live while I wash the dishes, and almost all the silverware is already soaked up. So my kids will have spoons to eat their cereal with. If I could find a bowl, that would be great. But so for me, part of the reason I self-sabotage is because, honestly, I think I'm afraid to be successful. Because, like, I tell myself I'm not a real author, right? I just write, and people like it sometimes, and that's cool. I don't know why they like it. Hey, Pearl. It's like I write these poems and these blog posts, and maybe people even sometimes read them, and people think I'm this awesome writer, but it's like, no, I'm not. I just, like, ramble on a video, or, you know, word vomit onto a blog. And when I write a poem, like, it's nothing amazing that I'm doing. It's like I just have this gift, and I just, like, and it's funny because I finally embraced that this isn't mine. I'm just kind of tapping into something and sharing it. And this idea that, you know, a couple of really awesome ladies have encouraged me, and Perul is one of them, about sharing your story and about getting out of your own way, and giving this gift to the world. Just like, I mean, not that I'm like God's gift to mankind, I'm not, but it's about not doing yourself and others a disservice by hiding from your passion and from your dream, and from taking steps towards it, right? Like, I see so many people at my work and in my life, like, quitting their job and doing things that are bigger and better, and like people that I went to high school with, people that I went to college with, are just doing amazing things. And I'm like, wow, that's super cool. And I still feel like I'm that little kid who's just not capable of anything. But you know what? That's such a lie. That's, excuse my language, that's bullshit. Because I've always been capable. I just didn't know it. I didn't trust it. And people could tell me, and I wouldn't believe it, that I actually can write a book, that I can change the world, that I can do anything that I set my mind to. Because it's not easy, right? It's hard work, and it's scary. And sometimes there's gonna be people who don't agree with you. And sometimes there are people you love. And to find that courage to do it anyway is just amazing. Like, it is such a game changer to have somebody not support you, but to have them disagree with your methods, and you do it anyway, and you're validated. Like, people buy your book or read your blog or watch your video or whatever, and it just feels really nice to be seen. And I actually had a call with Diane a long time ago where she described it like this. She was like, golly, it's like you're just jumping up and down, waving your arms, and I'm like, see me. But at the same time, it's like I don't show up. I write instead of going live, because why would anybody want to see this? Like, I'm not that special, right? I'm not that pretty. I'm not that anything. And it's kind of like, why bother? And there's a lot of people who are visual and who don't just want to sit there and read however many pages and paragraphs that I write. There's some people who just want to hear it like a real conversation. And so if you're watching, I hope you'll comment and we can start a conversation, because this isn't just me ranting onto a camera. This is real life, you know, and in real life we talk things through. And there's some people who are introverts who are like, don't talk to me, I'm thinking. But when I speak about things, there is so much insight that comes out of that. Like, even if I go back and watch this later, which I probably won't, I will probably hear something that I didn't even know I said, right? Something, and also in the moment that we're in, our priorities change, right? So maybe today I'm so focused on self-sabotage and getting out of my own way, but maybe next week I'll be more focused on showing up, and just every day or once a week, whether you're tired or not, whether you brush your hair or not, whether you have a million things to do or not, whether your kids are screaming or not. I think they're still sleeping, which is like really impressive, because they actually went to bed on time, and so when they go to bed early, they wake up early, and then there's just mommy. And it's funny because when Noah, he's almost 2, he says mom, and I'm like, that's my name. No, it's not. My name's not Mom. That is part of me, and that is a big part of my life, but that's not everything. And so for me to own that and give myself permission to be more than just mom, to let them sit in the crib sometimes, not all the time. I hear him crying, but and there's Annabelle notifying me that he's crying. Mom, Noah's awake. I'm gonna let them cry for just one more minute, because there's something else I want to say. So this really awesome lady that I've been following, her name's Jenny. She posts all these quotes, and recently she puts them with these most amazing, gorgeous images. You gotta check them out. Her name's Jenny Schmal. That's SCHMAL, and that's my thinking face. And something she posted recently was a quote that I don't remember exactly, but I'm gonna try. It was from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he's this amazing guy, amazing writer, and he has this quote that says something along the lines of, if you've made even one person smile, then you've succeeded. And I mean, I like to think that I've made a lot of people smile. They've told me they have. So that's good, right? They're not lying, are they? Are you? And so I hope that I've succeeded, right? And that's enough. And I'm enough. And anything on top of that is just bonus, right? So if I've made you smile today, even if it's something crazy, if I've made you smile or laugh, then I've already succeeded. And thank you, Jeff. We don't have to always deny the compliments, right? If somebody says you're awesome, don't be like, no, I'm not. Accept it, right? Because they're telling you that because they authentically really feel it. And compliments tend to be genuine, right? Even if somebody is searching for a compliment for somebody that they hate but trying to turn the other cheek and be nice, the thing that they choose to point out is not a lie. They might have struggled to choose a compliment, but the one that they end up with is something that they really see. Hey, Lauren. And so I'm gonna stop soon because the kids need me, but I hope if you joined in the middle that you'll go back and watch the whole thing, because there's some good stuff in here. And yeah, I ramble a lot. I like to talk. And it's funny because I never thought of myself as a chatterbox. I always thought of myself as shy and quiet. But yeah, ask my mom, she'll tell you I'm not quiet. It's all about finding the right audience, right? When I'm with Lauren, I can be myself. I'm not shy and quiet when I'm in a group of friends or when I'm in a one-on-one with somebody that I trust, because crowds are scary, right? Not so much anymore that I've been practicing, right? Maybe one day I will be a motivational speaker and like have a stack of books that people can buy a ticket to see me talk. How cool would that be? Yeah, I feel like that's never gonna happen, but hey, maybe it'll happen, right? And if you're watching this, I hope that what you'll get out of it is that you already are successful. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have your dream job or make $1 million. Hey, brother. You're already a success, because if you've made one person happy, if you've made one person smile, then you're already a success. And that's the butcher of Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote. And if I tagged you, or if you're on my feed, then you've made me smile. And so you're already a success. So congratulations. Now, if only we could make $1 million and have everything we want, right? I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for watching. And check out my YouTube channel, because maybe you'll like something on there. And maybe you'll be like, you're nuts. I don't know why you're posting this on the internet. And it's okay to tell me that, because if you tell me I'm nuts, then I can respond and tell you, yeah, I am kind of nuts. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if a future boss or my kids or whoever sees this, finds it on the internet, if we still have, internet 10 years from now, because who knows what's going to happen in this crazy world. If somebody finds one of these videos 10 years later and is like, wow, you were super messed up that year, we'll just blame it on COVID, right? And so, thank you for watching. I'm going to wash my hands and turn this off. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy Wednesday. Bye.